First of all, I just want to start off by saying thank you, God. Every time I make these videos, I say this: thank you, God. Even though, let's just say, life is not the best, things are bad, and I don't expect them to be better. But I thank God because I rather have this life of misery, sufferance of that sort than the life of these losers. And some of them, unfortunately for them, but I have no sympathy. They start off life really in a bad path, and I mean really bad. One that most likely there's just really setting yourself for a level of failure that can just that's that's awaiting them. It's insane. And I'm talking about these losers that you're saying here. This is the most pathetic low life that I've witnessed. I can't even. I'm just thankful. They make me be thankful under the circumstances I'm in, and the circumstances are bad. I don't, I know that I'm slowly fading away. My health is bad. Even my sanity is being destroyed, and I don't think it's going to get any better. But still, they still make me think and appreciative of my life versus these clowns. And it's such a, they consume their life in foulness that that makes me appreciate my sufferings. And with time, I'm more validated of that. As a target individual, you are surrounded by an ecosystem of trash, human trash, from all different walk of life. They were supposed to reconstitute reality in such a way that you'll be internalizing what you do. This is a governmental program, or reconstitute the reality of what you're dealing with. And you can hear me speaking, it make me say what to do instead what you deal with. Because as a target individual, I deal with V2K instant telepathy. You just experience by hearing what I just said how they can play with your speech. That's forced speech. But there is people around you that's supposed to get you to internalize every manipulation. And by doing that, they also have to kind of box out the obviousness of what they're doing. What they're trying to do really is gaslight you to the point of internalizing this. Now, I'm not the kind of person that get easily gaslighted. So what is happening here is just agitation and anger and rage. And with time, it's getting worse. Because they're being revealed as some of the foulest human beings. The facilitated evil that they're part of is such that you're going to hear children suffering to the point where you're going to hear children scream like that. You will see how torturous they can be to children, and they still have to stay in character and still have to negate what you're going to hear. And by the way, not only negate, now paint themselves as the protectors of children. It's so foul, and it's not getting any better for them too on that side. Just like my health and my sanity is not getting any better, the validation that they are torturing children, harming children, destroying the life of children is increasing. As my health is dissolving, their facade has been destroyed. Not physically, but the facade they were presenting, destroyed. They are torturers of children. They're some of the foulest low life you can imagine on earth. Target individual, you're going to deal with some foul things that you can't even understand. And the reason why is because you are no longer a human being to these people. You are a test subject. You are a test subject, excuse me. You are a test subject, and they're utilizing some of the most sophisticated technology onto you. And those losers around you, from the neighbors and the clowns that you see in the streets and whoever it is, are part of these gimmicks that they contract to participate in that. They're the little nothings. No matter where, in what status You can have homeless participate in that. You can have executive participate in that. You can have some loserness of teenage trash that you can see here participate in that. People of all walks of life. And those people usually are the lower level of what's happening. In the our hierarchy of it all, who you end up seeing are usually the nobody, no matter where in life they're in. So actually, I'm realizing that the more vocal one, the more aggressive one, are usually the more nothings. They're the more agitated. That means they have less in life. And so this is really more of everything they have, and they're fighting to the end to try to cover up the reality of what it is. And in my case, most of them are some little loser of teenagers. Pathetic as hell. Holding tight on what makes them feel special. In this program, the level of technology you deal with is insane. And you're going to hear this woman describe some of the things. You get so manipulated sometimes you don't even trust what you're seeing, even what you hear. The amount of time especially for me, what I hear, the distortion of what I hear sometimes is insane. But every once in a while, they distort what I see sometimes. Where I'm like, well, I'm confused what I just saw. There's some cases where it's been really weird. I'm like, what did I just? I'm so confused. And I think it's a mixture of distorting what I'm seeing and my mind, just a confusion, because they are damaging my brain. Matter of fact, they were trying to make me say something else to try to make me internalize the manipulation they make me have today. But the distortion is like you get confused. And that also has to do with the damaging of your brain. It's like you get like a Alzheimer like experience at times. It's just confused, like what did I just saw? And it's just like, and it's a mixture of your brain being played with, but what you're seeing is being, and it's a confusion that they really utilize to try to make you internalize this disgusting manipulation. I'm a target individual with V2K and synthetic telepathy. Those are the worst things. Now, obviously, they're also damaging my body. So, my health is being degraded by how they're damaging my body using this direct energy. Matter of fact, with me, I've noticed that in this program, they're going to try to prolong your sufferings. They don't want to just kill you. This is not about just killing somebody. This is definitely not a program of just murder. That ends up the end result. But it's not what this is designed to, because they can make you evaporate in 2 seconds. This technology is so advanced, they can make your heart stop in 2 seconds. And so clearly this is just utilizing human beings and just really utilizing them as guinea pigs. It's funny how they try to scare me into internalizing things but talk about murder. I'm like, oh, okay. When the truth is, they push people to killing themselves. Because for some of us, or for some, a lot of time, dying is liberty. It's freedom. So they kill themselves. They murder themselves to end this torment. So, as this clown tried to gaslight me, he's like, yeah, we're gonna murder you. I was like, trash. Thank God I didn't actually kill myself, because it was a close call. I wrote a suicide letter and everything else, but thank God I didn't go through it, because now I get to see this program for what it is. I was going to end this thing before understanding what happened. Once you understand what's happening with you, and the program, what it is, it changes things. It gives you strength, and you are able to see things for what they are, in a way that understand that it's not just about you. You knew you were being manipulated, tormented in this, but when you find out who else is tortured and what this program is about, you see the strength of so many other target individuals who are more vulnerable than you. It's like it gives you strength. You see a woman and her child going through this and suffering, and you are by yourself, don't have a child, and you're of a male gender. Like, you like, if this woman with a child is being strong, and even seeing their own child suffering like that, and me, I'm that brittle already. Let me just have some strength. Look at her. much more vulnerable than me, much more to lose than me. Much seeing the torture of seeing your child suffering is probably the worst that you can imagine. And she's strong. Me, I was already like, I just don't want to deal with these disgusting things they forced me to have. So I'm like, okay. And they deal with the manipulation of this degrading level. So they use this purpose, still use this like fear tactics, like, yeah, murder, when they saw you write a suicide letter. Now, this perps that you're seeing here are another level of loserness. Those are so pathetic. Listen, today I'm being manipulated to being forced to have these sexual arousals and this degrading, disgusting sexual arousal toward children of all ages. From the youngest to this teenage disgusting low life that you're seeing here. I've learned my lesson to now wear a body cam. So whenever they distort what I'm seeing, I don't have to worry about it. It's like my body cam has this. You want to see what you look like, clown? You'll see yourself. This trash can even distort the reality of what happened. Memories are distorted. So now when they do this little clown race, they come and show your damnness on camera. And they will try to scare me. It's like, yeah, no, nobody believes you. They believe us. And then the validation that these trash are so torturous to children that you hear children screaming the way you're gonna hear this child scream, and understanding that target visual is picking up and parents are seeing their kids being tortured, and this trend is increasing in regard of more parents reporting their children suffering. So you're like, oh, the torturers of children have convinced the world that they're protecting children. Go F yourself, you dumbass. Send your little losers to look what they're gonna look like on camera. Some clownery of this level. Some losers of a highest level. They're like, yeah, you're not, just saying the little script things that they make them say. Looking like the clowns that you're seeing here. Patheticness. With me, they're bringing up this thing they play with. And kind of altering my memories. But in real time, it was such level of distortion and confusion that happened. I was so confused with what I just saw. It was such a confusing, like, I didn't even understand. I remember I just moved to this place here, that you're seeing these clowns here now. And the reason why you see this picture here is because these trash tell me they're gonna frame me with this disgusting little teenage trash. And I'm like, okay. Now, unfortunately for them, today I wear a lot of body cam on me. When this little loserness come walking, try to think that I'm gonna internalize, because what's happening is that they manipulate my brain. They can make me have like stimulations and sensations and all kind of experiences that you can hear out of the target visual experience. Now that's in my mind being played with like that. But you then you look at the body cam and they look like some little losers looking like that. And you're like, you're retarded trash. And these little teenagers knows that the brain is being manipulated. They love this thing because they feel like gods. I mean, they're very conscious of the advanced level of this technology. They know they have this technology, have the powers to change the brain and make this little retard like that all of a sudden force somebody to get sexual stimulation when they see those little weirdos. They know this is the technology that gives them that power. And so they still play accordingly, like they will make themselves work like there's like you know it takes advanced level of technology, and they try to gaslight you like, no, we're mapping, and they use the invariables, we're mining of the mapping, like this is a research, like trash. You're known to torture children. You can't even scare me that people be like, oh, they believe you, huh? Yeah, it's like, okay, they believe the child screaming over there because the child is suffering. As I'm saying that, they try to mess with my words. They believe the scream of this child. Oh, okay. Yes. That's all you need to hear, because you're going to hear a child scream in agony. These people are involved in that, and also supposed to make me think that there's a researcher, and it goes as far as like, we're going to frame you. We're going to say that these little kids, I don't even want to call them kids. That's how much I hate this trash. I don't even want to humanize them. This little non-adult trash. They're going to act like they were victimized sexually by me. And I told them, like, for me, I'm not even going to tolerate you trying to play this role in front of me. If you say even hello to me, you're putting yourself in this situation. And I don't say things like that, not understanding what it means to me and what it means of what's going to happen to me. But I reassure you, on the soul of all these children suffering like that, you will never, never leave your fantasy. To those who want to intimidate me to internalize that, I don't care about my death. So if you think you're going to create some tactic, some theatric fearness of some sort, what's the worst case scenario? I'm going to die. I swear I'm going to run to that. I swear I'm going to run to my death. If that's what was supposed to make me internalize that. To these little retards watching this, if you want to play a victim away from me. But if you come near me, expect me to be reasonable. I'm going to be reasonable in a way that there's no coming back from. And to these disgusting clowns over there who think they're going to scare me into internalizing this thing and then go with the flow of what they're coming up with. They tell me, yeah, no, we're going to say you raped us or you did this, that you groped us. Like, trash, don't even come near me. You know, I have videos of this trash trying to touch me and say, don't effing touch me. This teen trash wants to try to like grab me. There's one little disgusting thing. That's why my body cam is on me. A little retard just walked in front of me and then stopped, bent over and tried to hit me. I had to dodge. Now, like I said, today there's a few things that make sure that that doesn't happen. One, they know I'm not going to be a polite person. Things are going to happen in a very aggressive way if they ever try to do that. Second of all, I have a body cam. Matter of fact, I have multiple body cam on me. So you do your thing. You're not going to look like the victim. And if you end up being a victim, it's not because this sexual thing that you're trying to do. It's going to be a crash out. As I say polite things like, yeah, you were politely doing back when you were going to this nightclub in 2008 and it was like trash. What I mean by polite, my response will be according to what you're doing. I will not be polite, just quiet and shy. I will react accordingly. There will be no politeness. You'll be confronted and dealt with. You are no victim. You will never be victimized by me sexually. And if you want to method act, it's at your own risk. I swear on the soul, this kid you hear screaming. But you're going to hear in a few. Now for me, they're bringing up these memories. That they are altering it, but it's what happened when I just moved here. Shortly after I just moved in this current apartment, obviously everywhere I go, since August 19, 2019, it's been happening to me. I remember somebody told me about a bakery that's around here. I was like, okay, let me try that bakery. It's a perp, of course, but I go there. There's a line for that bakery. So I go there. There's a set of parents on the side. And there's some like young teenager, maybe 15 max, maybe 14, 15, around there. She's in front, and I'm looking at her. She's like, yeah. She's like, go. The parents are like, go in the line. And I'm looking at them, like, and they're like, yeah, and they're speaking different language. So like, get her, like it's war. Like trash. You have your little disgusting little retard there. And at that time, I wasn't wearing a body cam. You should have seen like some gosh. And they know, these people say like get, I know that they play with people's brain, and then I'm looking away, and then I see two individuals coming, and that's when the confusion comes in. I don't know what I was seeing. At first, I see like a small. I thought at first some like some teenager, and then I was like, but she was looking like a. I'm not gonna say older, like she wasn't old, but like old, like a 50-some-year-old, like in her face. and they tried to mess with me. And I was like, what? I'm confused. I'm trying to figure out. She looks like somebody in their 50s or late 40s in the face, but still looking like a kid. I'm like, what? And as she comes closer, her face changed into more like a kid. And I'm like, why am I I'm like confused. It's like the face morphs into something else. And I was like, is this like I'm not even sure if this like a freaking teenage kid or like a 50-year-old woman. I'm like, are they missing what I was so confused. I'm in the line, confused. And I want to turn around. I was like, what did I just see? So finally, I finished paying, and I decided to turn around. And I'm looking who I think is the same person. And I'm like, this looks like a kid's body. Like, and it's winter, cold winter, and this big coat was like a small, petite, like this, like a kid. I'm confused, trying to understand what I just see. And then this person looks at me, and I'm looking at this person, and I'm like, kind of looking like a crazy person, to be honest. I'm like confused, and I'm looking at like not even like being casual about it. I'm just like confused, looking at a person, and I'm like, this is a kid. And it's funny because initially, this person who I believe is a teenage girl starts smiling at me. And I'm not smiling back. I'm just like trying to figure out what I'm looking at. I do look crazy at that time. I understand, but I was truly confused. She smiled at first, and then she realized this guy is kind of crazy. Like, at least she realized I'm not looking at her like interested. I'm looking at her like, what is this? Like somebody look at something in the zoo. Because I'm trying to like understand what I'm just saying. And she stopped smiling and just kind of. And they always play. They have this guy's like next to me. He's like, oh, they act like they're researching. He's on the phone. He's like, yeah, he's making himself talk like it's like. I was like, I'm just confused. Like, what was I just seeing? And I think that wasn't even the same person. That was obviously because I'm like, this is obviously a teenage girl. And I think I wasn't even looking at the person that initially was confused. I think that person probably finished and passed the way or passed somewhere else. So I ended up looking, and I was looking at this person who was somebody else, and that definitely was a teenage girl. I'm completely confused, and they were messing with my brain. And that's because you get messed with to the point where sometimes the distortion is even what you're looking at. That's why I have my body cam. And they tried to twist like, yeah, you're looking at her because you were interested. No, I was looking at her because I was being played with my brain. I was too confused to understand what I just saw. And I know that at that point I did look crazy. Because they are making you go crazy. So today they're like, yeah, girls are teenage attracted. And the things they put together, they make me think of. If you ever watch my videos, go see who they talk about attracting. You imagine seeing who I'm talking about and then looking at this little teenage trash looking like that. Weirdos. And that's why I have my body cam. This little bizarre little thing here. Little weirdos. Know that too. The way they look will never do anything to me. They know that. Oh, let me just say this. I know they are very aware of what they look like and how I would view them if I was not being manipulated. But they know the level of advanced technology they're part of, and they love it. They call themselves gods. But what they don't like, when you see those gods looking like that, that's the magic here. And this little trash are discussing. Now, let me just repeat this. They do this massive manipulation, but this program, it doesn't even just play with people's brain and push them into insanity. They torture children. They destroy the life of children. And I love when it's losers like, yeah, no, we broke that. You see, you're looking at the trash. After making it, by the way, so many videos. It's like, not only today I'm validated that they do this manipulation, you're going to hear a woman saying, you don't even trust what you're hearing or what you're seeing. But it goes as far as they literally are growingly torturing. There's more tortures of children being reported. You're going to hear the level of mean things they do. It's not proven that these people are harmers of children. These losers are still thinking that there is a chance, and they can't even scare me. It's like, yeah, we proved that. It's like, trash. You proved that you torture children, and still think you're a little back and forth through the games you play. You're like, no, they saw you staring. I was staring at something. I was confused. What the heck? Forget about that. Today, I don't even need to refer to that. You're gonna see what they do to children. This is who has proven. I've proven to a level of no coming back that these people actually harm children the way you're gonna hear. And then paint themselves as the protector of children. And these little losers around me. Oh my God. Now my body cam. When they come around me, you should see them try to work. Oh, I'm like, do that in front of me when I have the body cam. Now, oh my gosh. I welcome them. Come, do your thing. Watch. They're about to see your damn ass. Excuse my language. I say that they try to twist it. They make me think a little dwarfy looking trash. Excuse my language. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm all for you to embarrass yourself. And I love how they're like, yeah, no, it proved that. Trash, you can't even say Roy Moore. And I've proven that you can even torture little kids like that. Some kids sexually. So who proved what? The people who are involved in atrocious things where children suffer like that are now the protectors of children. Or are they doing things to target the individual brain that is torturous to the point where they're confused about what they're seeing or what they're hearing, doing this disgusting pedophilia type of torture, and paint themselves as protectors of children while involved in something where children are screaming in agony like that? Huh? And to these little losers, like I said, my politeness is over. And when I mean by politeness, it means there will be confrontation. I will not be submissive and quiet and just, no. I'll be loud. I'll be warned. I'll warn you. And you better be ready to go where I'm willing to go. You know, in my brain, they would try to, like, there's this clown, that a coworker of mine, she was trying to twist, like, yeah, politely, and just try to bring up me back in my teenage 20s, early 20s, teenage year, when I used to go to a nightclub. Like, we're talking about pre-2010. It's like, yeah, you're politely doing this at the nightclub. Trash ass. Retard, low life. No. Today I was politely being quiet, just being the bigger person, quietly walk away, just being shy and just walk away and just being the polite little submissive black person. Now today I'm like, okay, what? Get your nastiness away from me. You're on camera, low life. If you come near me any closer, even say hi to me, you're never gonna come back from that. I'm not even gonna allow you to play a game around me. Take me, just stay strong.
That are victims.
Criminals are scared.
I couldn't trust what I was hearing. I couldn't trust what I was seeing at times. It makes me feel like I'm in the outside of an inside joke.
These are how.
over somebody, even though they're not putting their hand, they're putting the weapon on you, and there's nothing you can do. And that's an awful feeling.
It's usually combined with a very cruel microwave auditory effect, voices in their heads telling her, we're not raping you, we're just stimulating you. And that has got to be the most disgusting, wicked, evil, satanic thing I have ever heard.
Worryingly, a growing number of people are contacting TI support organizations to report that their children seem to be displaying signs of these weapons. Often, the parents are victims themselves, making the torture a generational thing.
A significant number of members, many single mothers and small children, minor children as young as 3 years old, are being targeted and harassed, particularly with voice-to-skull V2K. The sickness that someone would torture a small child is beyond belief. We have confirmed that these kids are in fact receiving directed energy weapons and voice-to-skull. It's a very disturbing development for us. With children, they'll use their mother's voice. The parent has to tell the child, watch my lips. If you didn't see me say it to you, that wasn't me.
The youngest we have record of is as young as 3 years old. What they do is that they beam voices at these children's, and they say things to them. For example, one of them would say, they're gonna eat my stomach. They're telling me that they're gonna eat my stomach. Another mother tells me that her 5-year-old tells her she never has a quiet moment in her head. Like, imagine a child 24/7 having these voices going on. Not to mention the damage to their developing brains, because this is perpetrated with microwave beams that are being directed at young minds.
So, what evidence is
that our victims?
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot the children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons fired.
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot the children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons fired by the CIA.
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot the children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons.
Criminals are scared for their lives.
Wanna shoot the children.
You can tell him how you know about children that are victims of directed energy weapons.
Today, I forgot to bring my flyers with me. I did bring my cards, but I forgot to bring the flyers because I didn't know I was going to be able to see them. And I just blurted out and I said, little girls are being microwaved by the CIA. And he was surrounded by women.
Eyes, and we have children as young as 3 years old that are hearing voices. They have implanted dreams, very violent and some in sexual nature. It to children, they're implanting children with atrocious dreams, many of them of a sexual nature. And it's just a throw these
of abuse of the human resources. My name is Catherine Nestor and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MKUltra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I asked Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today.
I am currently a speech-language pathologist working in private practice with young children. I had a 7-year-old client who has autism, and she was the most significantly affected of all of my clients. I eventually had to tell this client to go to another clinic, and they used her to threaten the most torture in me as well as their most extreme forms of torture. For several months, she would cry and scream horribly during our therapy sessions despite having a great day at school. This was highly unusual behavior for her, as she usually behaved very well during her therapy sessions. I observed her gasping for air a few times in the same way that I do when I am being more severely suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point. Many of their torture methods are cyclical in severity. Right after I saw this child being suffocated, then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day, for about 2 months straight, and that's also when they made it worse when I eat. Then I also work with a 4-year-old little girl with Down syndrome, as well as her 5-year-old sister who also has Down syndrome. I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, "ow." I observed this at least on 1 or 2 occasions for each of them during their separate sessions. During one session, I observed one of my 3-year-old clients suddenly grab his crotch and lean forward in his chair. And then he made a frightening grimace of severe
and have had
Yeah. So, we've spoken a few times. I'm going through the same thing. Our situations are a little different. So I have the full-blown artificial telepathy. You're definitely receiving broadcasts because I've seen it in your photos. And, isn't it strange that sometimes you could feel some type of way that's not your feelings?
Yeah. They do that a lot. Can project anger, fear, and weird feelings. They can do pretty much anything that has access to the brain or to the mind.
Right.
Not just me, but I have children, and so my children are able to say certain things, like they can feel certain things.
Right.
Zaps on their body.
Yes, here's a filing-grounded, reportive case file summary of Devin Delaney Fraley and HF, with specific places you can verify each point in the accessible appellate petition materials, which reproduce key parts of the operative complaint. I'm going to rely most heavily on the Supreme Court appendix because it includes the relevant complaint excerpts verbatim, including the Fraley HF paragraphs, and is publicly accessible. 1. Where Fraley and HF appear across the litigation record. A District Court complaint excerpts in the Supreme Court appendix. The Supreme Court appendix contains the complaint section titled Devin Delaney Fraley and the follow-on paragraphs about HF starting immediately after that heading. B. Fifth Circuit Appeal, March 8, 2024. The Fifth Circuit opinion caption lists Devin Delaney Fraley and HF among the plaintiff's appellants. Notably, it labels JD and LM as a minor, but does not print a minor after HF in that caption line. C. Supreme Court Petition, July 23, 2024. The petition's petitioner list includes Devin Delaney Fraley and then separately lists HF, a minor. It also includes a note explaining that after an amended complaint was filed, the minor daughter of petitioner Fraley was added as a claimant. Number 2, Fraley's allegations, what she claims happened to her. In the complaint excerpt, as reproduced in the appendix, Fraley alleges in substance she was nominated included in a TSDB subcategory, NS McCarthy blacklist, without notice and without an opportunity to rebut. She alleges she has suffered physical, electronic surveillance and organised stalking as part of being targeted. She alleges that around 2016, her targeting increased and she began experiencing artificial tinnitus and V2K continuously. She alleges directed energy weapon DW attacks causing burns, including to her feet and genital area. She alleges the DW attacks caused symptoms she characterizes as indicative of Havana syndrome, described as permanent brain and physical injuries. She alleges social, professional, personal repercussions, including suffering, anxiety, and loss, and requests remedies including removal from the TSDB and damages. That is the core Fraley-specific symptom set and theory as pled in the excerpted complaint text. 3. HF's allegations, what Fraley claims happened to the child. In the same reproduced complaint excerpt, the filing describes HF as Fraley's daughter and a toddler, specifically referred to as 3-year-old. The text uses 3-year-old daughters, but the context is HF as the single minor plaintiff child. The allegations about the child's symptoms are described as, after the filing of the complaint, HF allegedly began showing signs of DVTK, and because she is incapable of verbalizing, Fraley says she inferred symptoms through behavioral changes, including irritability, slamming her head against the floor, extremely high body temperature upon waking, among others. The allegations about ongoing harm include alleged irritability, anguish, sweating, pain, and suffering every day, with asserted unknown damages to the child's developing brain.
That our victims.
Criminals are scared for their lives.
You just start to lose your grasp on what's going on. Ultimately, if you can think of the darkest things that you could say to somebody, something that you would never say to somebody, those are the sorts of things that it uses to destroy you.
At first, they were saying a lot of homosexual things to me. Once that really didn't fly, as far as, getting me mad or whatever, they switched over to talking a lot about pedophilia, and that was happening a lot.
Automated torture, 24/7, 365. You have to understand that it's just a computer. Whatever you don't like, it will continue doing.
It was mocking, deriding, and then they can suggest thoughts and actions and emotions. About 6 months of straight-on torture, driving me to the absolute brinks of sanity.
V2K exploits fears, traumas, insecurities. It deceives, it manipulates.
80% of the time now, it is negative, extremely negative, horrific. But then they can elicit strong emotional reactions on people, and they could do it with whatever emotion.
These could be regularly appearing subtle thoughts telling you to kill yourself. Victims also report thoughts and dreams being sent into their head daily. The thoughts are often indistinguishable from your own, but are obvious because they seem out of place compared to your usual thoughts. These could be regularly appearing subtle thoughts telling you to kill yourself or to hurt people.
They can elicit strong emotional reactions on people, and they could do it with whatever emotion. We can turn you on right now. We can make you angry. We can make you sad. And they would do it. It was like they pressed a button and it just went, and it just would just go away. And I just felt like totally normal.
The dreams are noticeably different from ordinary dreams in that they are often vulgar or include some kind of trauma, and they are usually more memorable and less abstract.
I was aware for a while that my dreams were being influenced. It's very, very clear that they're using dreams to reinforce the programming, to program the unconscious mind. I'm getting the same thing, some kind of...
And
the target.
It is what...
Control me. I have my own free will.
V2K, or voice to skull. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music directly into my mind to communicate with me in real time and at the speed of thought. And it also includes the manipulation of thoughts, emotions, and perceptions in the person's mind. Additionally, the targeting is all highly perverted and sexual, as well as just
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. This disgusting, disgusting, disgusting things. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through weapons. I don't know. I don't care.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds. And vice versa.
They use these monarch-style torture programs, like it's based on sex and trauma. So they're gonna traumatize you. They're gonna use your libido to get back at you, and
this technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal.
What is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams. And
I couldn't trust what I was hearing. I couldn't trust what I was seeing at times. It makes me feel like I'm in the outside of an inside joke.
These are how
I couldn't trust what I was hearing. I couldn't trust what I was seeing at times. It makes me feel like I'm in the outside of an inside joke.
these are how